Yo, first and foremost, you know what it is, a middle finger to what it ain't. It's your boy Rashim, and of course, my guy TZ. Welcome to another episode of Behind the Muse. And Jesus Christ, TZ, it's been too long, dog. It's been too long.
It's been too long, bro. It has, bro.
What's going on?
We ain't really connected this hard on something since season 1, bro. Season 2, this is one of the first real episodes we've done.
Yeah, facts, man. I feel like we've been doing reaction videos. We've been covering different albums that came out, but we haven't really talked about hippity hoppity ish. You dig what I'm saying? It's been a minute. So what's poppin'?
We do research when we do a topic, y'all. Yes. And our fans can vouch. We doing every aspect of it, man. For real. So we have to do something for this one.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yo, TZ, what are we talking about?
Yo, so we talking about none other than some of the biggest artists to ever grace a mic. Drake versus Kanye.
Jeez.
A history before 2020's most anticipated album releases. We really giving y'all a whole scope of what's happened since they first even mentioned each other. Up until this very moment.
Bro, big facts. People don't understand how deep this goes, but we gonna cover it here on Behind the Muse, because you know what we do. You know what we do, man.
That's our claim to fame, man. That's what we do.
Yeah, man. On. So before we get too in depth, make sure you guys please subscribe, and hit that bell to get notifications, because we coming with the deep dives. I mean, what the fuck can I say? What the fuck can I say, nigga? You know we on, dog. So look, man. Without further ado, let's get to the content.
Don't you what's up, family? I ain't your goddamn fam.
What's up, little bro?
I'm not your little bro either, Kanye.
Oh, you my whoa.
What?
What's up, whoa?
No, goddamn it, I'm none of that. What the hell are you doing here? In the studio?
Yo, so like I said before, today we are discussing the feud. Kind of seems like a brotherly bro-mance type feud between Drake and Kanye that erupted in 2018 with everything that happened. So look, we're going to take a deep dive and look at the timeline that led us to very crucial moments, and talk about both of them dropping the albums this year, talk about our projections, predictions, and how that's going to go. So from the jump, this man Drake has said on multiple occasions how much of a fan he is of Kanye West. When we talk about even his earlier mixtapes, like Comeback Season, he has a song on there. TZ, what was that?
Yeah, so in 2007, Kanye dropped one of his most successful albums up to date, which was Graduation. And he had a song on there with Lil Wayne called Barry Bonds. Now, Comeback Season, this is before Drake had got involved with Lil Wayne to the extent we would know him. He actually did a freestyle of Barry Bonds. So that was pretty dope.
Which continues with So Far Gone. So on that same album, Graduation, Kanye has a song called Say You Will. This man Drake has a version of that on his acclaimed mixtape So Far Gone called Say What's Real. The exact same beat. He pays homage to Kanye once again in that way. So you had that song, and you also had one of the biggest songs he had on that mixtape, which was Best I Ever Had. There was apparently conversation or Drake, Ye, and Big Sean was in the studio at one point, and they were talking about just spitting out ideas for the music video. And Kanye had an idea, which we know now was, Best I Ever Had, with big titty females on the basketball court. Which the video itself was kind of controversial. Do you remember that? How controversial?
Yeah, I remember. It was interesting because, for one, the first thing was people didn't feel like it fit the song. It felt like it was all over the place, and then it was is this a high school basketball team? It was just very awkward. It was mad awkward at the time.
So it was dead as a high school basketball team. It was shot at a Catholic high school. The variations of fucked upnism just goes deep with that.
Yeah.
And there's been rumors.
You can tell it's a Kanye idea too.
Yo, was Kanye slick? Just setting him up for failure from jump, bro? Let me just go ahead and put it out.
You're gonna be some competition. Let me go ahead and mess up.
Right. So yeah, bro. From jump, this man Kanye has been behind some of his biggest hits, and he was even behind "Find Your Love." This man Kanye helped produce his biggest hit on "Thank Me Later," "Find Your Love," which is crazy. I didn't realize that before looking into this beef, but that's when Kanye realized that Drake might be a problem. He's actually quoted saying in a XXL cover issue He said Drake was the first thing that actually scared me and put pressure on me because it was the first thing that was blatantly similar to me. He's quoted on other occasions talking about how much he was behind someone like he wanted to be behind Drake and like helping him and things like that, but then he realized he was competition. And really him publicly mentioning that Drake could be competition might have been what sparked more things. Drake later said that he was going to do a collab album with Lil Wayne, and we don't know for a fact that was in response to his quote, but in response to him talking about collab with Lil Wayne, Ye did a collab with Jay. Like shortly after the rumors of Drake and Lil Wayne doing a collab album, they announced Watch the Throne.
Right. And for anybody who does not think that Watch the Throne was actually in direct counter to Drake and Lil Wayne's thing, Kanye actually went on stage and said, yo, we would have never did the Throne if it wasn't for Drake putting pressure on us. Facts. So to me, that confirms it, because Kanye said that out of his own mouth, performing for Drake at OVO Fest.
Right.
So, I mean, what else can you say after that?
Yeah, so that was a big thing. You also have the quote on I'm On One, where, Drake is quoted saying, I just feel like the throne is for the taking. Watch me take it. Which, a sub. And coupled with publicly and did an interview where he talked about how he felt like, oh, it's some dudes coming out with a collab album. I wonder where they got that idea from. So couple that, that interview and the I'm On One phrase, it's clear that Drake might have felt some type of way. But like you just said, TZ, Kanye was on the OVO stage with him. Kanye praised Drake, saying that he's, putting pressure on him and he appreciates that. And, Drake is quoted saying, like, this is one of the biggest moments of my career. Fast forward to 2016, where Drake came out with the summer smash hit, Summer 16, bro, where Drake has the iconic line where he says, I got a bigger pool than Ye. Look, man, Ye's pool is nice. Mine's just bigger, what I'm saying. I'm that nigga, what I'm saying. Yo, when I heard that
around here.
Yeah, bro, when I heard that, I was like, dang, like, is Ye's pool smaller than Drake's? They're actually like neighbors. They both live in Calabasas. So Drake would have some insight on like what this man pool looked like. Right.
And it's important to remember that too, as you go through this entire timeline. They neighbors, man. Yeah. So whenever anything is referenced, any lines, Drake is aware of that. And that's accounted for into subs. But it's also interesting because we all know that Kanye is known for having a big ego. So Drake, to me, knew that when he wrote that line. Like, you got to think how petty, but how smart it was at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Considering, too, after Kanye was asked about that in an interview, literally the week after, he started building a bigger pool. Yeah, that's crazy.
But then he's talking about, like, he has 3 pools, Like, he was asked, like, yo, does Drake have a bigger pool than you? Like, well, I have 3. You know what I'm saying? So clearly it hurt his pride. Anything that's talking about, like, there's somebody better. Because remember, Kanye thinks he's a god. He talks about that later on in his career. I think I'm a god. So anything that kind of like puts a chink in his armor is obviously going to affect him very much so.
After that, or around that time, especially 2016 era, we also had Drake, who had actually a song off his album that he was doing with Kanye. That Jay-Z actually was in the studio with Kanye at the time. So the song came out, and it was called Pop Style, and it was actually featuring the Throne. So the song came out. Mind you, around this time, Drake is beefing with Meek Mill.
Right.
So when the album comes out and people say, okay, why is Throne no longer on the album? It was reported that Jay-Z removed his verse and then wanted to re-release because he was on Meek Mill's side of the beat. So there was reported to be some type of tension around that because it's like, okay, Drake's like, well, I'll just do my own verse, like, forget it. But I thought that was also interesting. But it was evident that they don't really shy away from collabing. Kanye and Drake have been in the studio before. So around the time Kanye did an interview with The Breakfast Club, he said that he and Drake were in the talks of doing an album called Wolves, because the song itself was inspired and supposedly supposed to be with Drake initially. So it was very interesting at that time that these collabs started coming up. So for a while, for an era, Drake and Kanye were really cool, working together, supposed to be collabing together. And then there's even a song on Drake's project called Glow that came out from that era.
Right.
However, things can never last. And in my opinion, I think a lot of it comes down to Kanye's mental illness. On stage, on a rant, he goes in on DJ Khaled and Drake, basically saying, hey, are y'all not tired of hearing for free on the radio? Like, he obviously felt some type of way. And it goes back to this ego. Because how can you listen to somebody on the radio be too much? Yeah. So Drake is like, yo, I thought we was cool. We was working on a project, was working on an album, and then all of a sudden he's dissing me and DJ Khaled on stage. And from there on, the tension continued. So I honestly think they were good for a moment there, bro. I honestly do.
They were.
Kanye always messes things up with views. He's messed things up with Jay-Z before. And Jay-Z has even mentioned that in the track. So it's nothing that Kanye is not used to doing. However, as they continue on, they do get back on good terms decently. Kanye reaches out to Drake, try to get Drake out to help him work on an album. Now, at the time, Drake mentioned that he thought it was Kanye reaching out to help him with his music. Right. But 40 went out to help him. This was the Ye album, by the way, y'all. When Kanye reached out to Drake, 40 went out earlier, and 40 was talking about how the vibe is weird here, but who knows? We'll see what happens. So Drake ends up going out to them, and they basically work on Kanye's album together. Drake has said that he actually shared some information about his baby, shared some information about his release date, etc. And there's also some issues with a song called Lift Yourself that Kanye said that Drake could have, but Kanye actually prematurely releases it and is recorded some of his best lyrics today.
That Lift Yourself was so fucking savage, bro. Like,
that was petty, bro, and that was so messed up. Like, there was no reason in that.
You just know it was super petty, bro. He was like, yo, you can have this beat. Like, everything surrounding this situation around the time, like, yeah, we're supposed to be dropping, it's just super petty. And even talking about...
And definitely more on Kanye's side isn't wrong. Because, like, Drake is petty too, bro. We've already talked about the pool line.
Yeah.
But many times throughout this whole timeline, he took steps back and he didn't say much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I also want to talk about how there was mention. So like you said, they were supposed to go down there or meet. I think this was in Wyoming. They were supposed to meet to work on the Scorpion album. And it turns out they was working on a Ye album. Then Drake released when he was actually supposed to be dropping said album. And then this man, Kanye, releases all this good music around the same time.
Week after week. He announced all those days, bro, like crazy.
Right around the time Drake's Scorpion album was supposed to drop. So it was super petty, felt like very intentional on Kanye West's part. And obviously that sparked a lot more tension.
Also considering, y'all had to consider this, I think this part is under talked about. During that release schedule that Kanye put out, Pusha T was also included in that. So when you know Drake's album release date is coming up, if someone drops a diss record on their album, and we're going to get more into that.
Yeah.
But and you already have an established release date, that makes you want to push some stuff back because now you got a whole diss record that's dropping on top of when you dropping your album.
Yes. And Infrared was that diss track. So on the album Daytona, Pusha T came out with the song that ended the album. It was the last song on the album, right? Obviously called him out on the ghostwriting. He also called out Lil Wayne and Birdman in this situation as well. I mean, it was a whole thing, bro. Like, nobody was really... Felt like people had moved on, and then Pusha T was just like, nah, y'all remember this?
Right. Now, in Pusha T's defense, it was a response to the last shot that Drake had did against him in a song called Two Birds, One Stone. Yeah. To be fair, and in that song, Drake basically shoots at Pusha T's credibility, and he disses Kid Cudi. And this was also produced by 40 and had some production credits by Kanye
West, which was crazy. That same day that Daytona came out and the Infrared song went crazy, this man Drake released Duppy, where he came back at all of their hits. Like, he called Kanye West out for like, hey, if you feel like I'm a ghostwriter, I a ghostwriter, whatever, what do you think about the person that produces your music? He uses me a lot. He also talked about how thought that Pusha T was like this big drug dealer is actually fake. And I also saw an interview where Pusha T's brother, No Malice, has been quoted saying that, yeah, they weren't really into the drug game. They had cousins that were in the drug game that was deep in it. You know what I'm saying? So the thought that Pusha T was fake, and Drake called that out on Duppy. It was pretty big. So the song did make waves, and we was just like, all right, cool. It's gonna be a little Meek Mill. Pusha T ain't got a chance. Did you really think?
But I think we also
chance?
to note this about the track though, because as it concerns the Kanye and Drake beef, the thing with Pusha T is only relevant for the amount of information that he dropped concerning Drake. Right. Now, it was very notable that W Freestyle had so many lines dedicated at Kanye, and everybody was like, well, Pusha T the one that dissed you, so everybody was confused. But Drake felt some type of way that not only was his date stumped on, but all of these albums that came out were all produced by Kanye West, and this track, Infrared, was produced by Kanye West, and he's like, bro, your guy is dissing me for ghostwriting when I was just there ghostwriting for your fucking album. It's like, what the hell? So I understand why he felt some type of way.
So I do feel like, though, it was kind of even. Originally, I did feel like it was more geared towards Kanye than it was to Pusha T, but now after listening to it again, I feel like it was kind of even. Like he came in a lot of stuff that he called him irrelevant. He talked about how this verse, this W Freestyle, is going to bring you more money. He talked about sending him the invoice. Yeah, sending him the invoice, super petty. And he discussed the fake drug, like, which is everything that Pusha T is. I mean, his name is literally Pusha T. Like he's the pusher man. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he came from a decent amount, along with Ye. So I don't know.
He had some nice bars in there too. He said, "I pop stop for 30 hours." Yeah, I like how you said that, because basically the whole pop star debacle that we talked about earlier, and then not us. Drake actually wrote 30 hours or wrote portions of 30 hours on Kanye's The Life of Pablo album. Yes. So like he got plenty of writing credits for Kanye.
Which was something that he actually did not want to put out. Like Kanye didn't originally give him the credit. It wasn't until Drake brought it up. It was just like, yeah, he helped. You know what I'm saying? So it's really crazy. So we thought that was going to be it. Like I said, Drake with Meek Mill, easy money, you know what I'm saying? So we thought Pusha T was going to just roll up and be good. Nah, that didn't happen. That did not happen at all, because Pusha T then came out with the acclaimed story out of none, where he talked about the baby mama drama. You got a son, you were hiding a son, and that was a whole big thing. The reason it was so crucial between Kanye and Drake, though, because as we talked about when they were in Wyoming, Drake did tell Kanye about the situation you have with his baby mama and his son, and the release dates where he's going to talk about his son and things like that. So for then Pusha T to bring it up, it just felt way too coincidental. Like
felt intentional to Drake. Felt very intentional.
So spooky.
First off, like we mentioned with the Meek Mill, we have never known Drake to not respond. I remember when that diss happened, I'm like, okay, so what Drake got next? It was a lot. And nothing ever dropped. Then Jay Prince got involved, basically speaking for Drake, talking about how, like, nah, we've heard that this record is too savage. We're not going to drop it.
Do you actually think it was a diss record? Like, for real?
So I think it was a diss record. And I see what Drake was coming from on the show he did with LeBron James about how when you look back, he wouldn't have liked that. But I also think it was two things. What he had was more so against Kanye. Yeah. But it was a beef against Pusha T. So I think to release it would have hurt not only what Kanye had going on, but it wouldn't have wanted a beef because it's not against Pusha T. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's part of the reason why he couldn't release it, because as we go on with the rest of this timeline, you'll keep hearing people reference what Kanye would have done after hearing it. No one has said anything about Pusha T. So to me, that's the main reason why it didn't get released. Yeah. Now as far as the Kanye, there was a lot of rumors that what the diss had going on had something to do with Kanye's family. Yeah. And Kanye's family, we talking about Kim Kardashian and Kardashian as a whole. So with Drake's Scorpion era, he had a huge hit with Kiki. Do you love me? Are you riding? That was a huge record, bro. That was a huge record, bro. And in that song, there was a huge theory that was going across Twitter, yo. A huge theory that it ended up going to plenty of people. But basically, this guy said he thinks Drake is talking about Kim Kardashian. And from there, the floodgates open. The rumors would be pretty pressing. So pressing to the point that Kanye himself, later on in a rant, would say, if I had if I knew Drake had a girl named Rihanna and I was dating a girl named something Riri something, I would not name a song when I'm talking about somebody said Riri. Basically, and I get what he's saying. He said, if you really didn't fuck my wife, why are you out here allowing that theory to live? Why are you allowing that rumor to thrive?
Yeah.
And Drake was definitely letting that shit.
So it might have been coincidental at first, but he has mentioned this several times. I mean, he just mentioned it on Dark Lane demo tapes where he talked about, you know, he thinks he needs to go back to Jesus. He needs to go to Ye for some, you know, religion. But when he tried to tell him sins, he wouldn't believe it. So I feel like he's been subbing the Kim like I fucked your wife for a very long time, bro. Like,
right.
Like Pac did it once. You know, Pac was just like, that's why I fucked your wife, fat motherfucker. What's that? Like, but this man, Drake, has done it on multiple occasions. So I think it's crazy. Right. What do you think the validity of him actually fucking Kim is?
So that's a great question. Basically, do we think Drake actually fucked Kim? So I feel like he didn't. Only because the idea of playing around that he did is just so fucking genius. Because it doesn't matter if he did or not. It's the inception of the thought,
right? Playing
with Kanye's ego and it becoming a rumor around the industry. Because you have to realize this: Drake never put the idea out there until that Twitter thread came out. I don't think people really seriously entertained that. Right. It's already been proven that Kiki was someone else that he actually had dated. So it's like I think Drake saw that the feud happened. I think Drake played around with it even more because it's like, now I have something over you. I don't like you. I probably hate your guts. And it's like, oh, I got something that's really bothering you. Oh yeah, I'm gonna double down on that. That's what I honestly think happened. And I don't even think it's possible that he couldn't have fucked her. I'm not saying that. They was neighbors. And then two, now that Kanye and Kim's not together, I honestly feel like if he hasn't, he really can. Like, what do you think?
No, I think he did, honestly. So when you look back at like even early Drake, they've been in pictures together. Like, he's said on multiple occasions like he loved the Kardashians and he's been over their house way before, you know, he was this big of a Drake. So I think he definitely did. It's fucking Drake.
Do you think he did it prior to their relationship or during?
I think he did both. I mean, and just the thought that obviously Kim don't give a fuck about Kanye like that. Like, Kim has said, all right, look, before y'all judge me, my wife used to watch, you know, Kim Kardashian, the Kardashians. She used to watch all the time. She used to let me know what was going on. So when Kanye West was actually there with them, Kim talked on numerous occasions how she couldn't stand Kanye for like multiple things that he used to do. And his mental breakdowns and things like that. So there's that. There's the fact that they're divorced now because of her. I really don't think she gave that much of a fuck about Kanye, honestly.
So I guess I could see that from a certain extent, but this being like her longest relationship, I feel like there was some love there. Even now, they still on decent enough terms for her to go to his listening sessions. But we'll get more into that. But I get what you're saying. Well, I'm curious of what y'all think. Let us know in the comments whether or not you think
whatever they say he did. He did that shit.
I'm honestly curious. But just to wrap up this last era, a lot of this started with when So Far Gone was talked about being re-released. Drake actually asked for sample clearance of the track we mentioned earlier, Say You Will. He asked for sample clearance of that for Say What's re-release.
Right.
And then that's when Kanye started this whole spurt of tweets talking about how rap is so fake. It was a crazy tweet rant. And, you know, he talking about, like, I'm not finna clear that. Like, they had a phone call and everything, thought everything was good. And then Kanye was like, I'm still not gonna clear it. And then he said Drake called again and Drake threatened him.
Right.
And then they just got really, you know, problematic again, even though they were trying to communicate. Now, I will give Kanye some credit. Kanye, at some point when doing his tweeting, he did apologize for everything that happened with Drake. He apologized for everything that he said. He said, I never told Pusha T about your baby. Now, he's went on to say that multiple times, even in actual radio interviews.
Yeah.
But I think it fell on deaf ears because at this point in their relationship, Drake is very hard to reach when it comes to Kanye. So I think on Kanye's Jesus is King run, he did say that he had to forgive Drake because he can't be out here doing this Christian stuff and he having problems with other men like that. So I guess that's on brand, I guess.
Yeah.
But Drake also in an interview with Rap Radar, and this is I think his stance to date for the most part.
Yep.
He said Kanye is still his favorite artist, but he's not open to communication with him. That's a strong statement to say because Kanye has been very public about trying to reach out to Drake to have conversation. Yep. That's part of what sparked the whole tweet storm. He's like, I can't get in contact with this man. But
this man
Drake
Kanye, Kanye has said that he dropped his number off on his porch, pretty much.
I'm
like,
telling
yo,
you,
call
bro.
me.
I'm telling you, bro. And a name drop Drake in a second. Drake, on the other hand, the king of subs, bro, has mentioned Kanye or subbed him in multiple songs.
Bro.
Multiple songs. No Stylist. I told you don't wear no 350s around me. Like, just he just very petty, very subbish. But you can tell overall he's very hurt. So in this interview he did with Rap Radar, he basically says he's not open to communication. And if Kanye said something against him, or basically he's still ready to go to war. Like, and to me that's a strong statement to make because I don't think Kanye said he would never really diss him, but it's like Drake's still holding on to that because Drake said, like, even though he said publicly in an interview that like he didn't have nothing to do with the baby thing, he felt like it was intentional. He's still holding on to that. Like, so as it stands in 2021, whether they've had secret conversations, they do not seem to be real friends. It's very evident that Drake was not involved in this new album, unless something will come out later on, but it doesn't seem to be this time.
It definitely seems like a brotherly feud, though. It does, man. I mean, outside of like, because I really don't think Kanye West did the baby thing. I don't think he did that.
I don't think he did either.
But the rumor was that 40, the chick that 40 was like pillow talking with, is the one who released that information to Pusha T. So I feel like Drake couldn't really be like, well, damn, that's my nigga. So I feel like Drake had to go with the narrative of Kanye.
Else, yeah. And that's what Pusha T said as well. I can't say whether either rumor is true. Yeah. But we can definitely say it hasn't been denied. So that speaks for itself too,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So I mean, I just think it definitely feels like a bromance outside of that situation.
So I disagree.
Go ahead.
I disagree with that, and here's why. I feel like it was a brotherly feud and a bromance. Even Pusha T said they'll go back and forth like some type of bromance. You don't understand that?
Right.
I think it was until the Pusha T diss. I honestly feel like the Pusha T diss escalated it to a point where Drake no longer wants to come back. Yeah, and you understand, Drake can be very sensitive sometimes. Sometimes it's called for, sometimes it's not. But you understand, even with the control freestyle that Kendrick did, when Drake feels some type of way, he really feels some type of way for a while. So I feel like with this being the biggest diss against Drake that Drake will ever probably see, I don't think he's gonna get over this, because if he's not gonna make friends with Pusha T, he's not gonna ever be that cool with Kanye. We'll see what happens though. He still had to suck his pride up to get that sample clearance. But as far as them being friends, I don't see it happening. I think it got escalated because even Kanye said people in his household when he was still with Kim K, they couldn't say Drake's name, bro. That's deep. Like his name was banned from coming up in his household's name. Like no man should be that rent free in your family's household, bro. That's how deep this got, though.
Yeah, it got hella deep, man. So coming up to 2021, and so you have this feud, this animosity between the two. Now you come to 2021, and they're both releasing albums, right? So this is supposed to be, Kanye's best album, and we've also said, I've definitely said that, Certified Lover Boy might just be Drake's best album. Considering the fact, and this is why I feel the way it feels, considering the fact that this feels a lot like 2012 Drake. 2012 Drake was on everything and dropping fire verses, and that all led up to Take Care. And this feels like that. He's dropping hella great verses. He's on everything pretty much. And he's on some trash stuff too. Don't get me wrong. Like he's still doing that, riding the wave on some trash ass, random ass nobodies. But he's dropping fire motherfucking content. I mean, the Brent Fayez, the Lil Wayne. I mean, how far can we go?
Killing it. Scary Hours too. You know, like
killing it.
Laugh Not Cry Later. Like he is on a ride, and even then, like Dark Lane Demo Tape. Some of them tracks on there felt very refreshing. Chicago
it was good.
Was some of the best Drake I've heard.
Hands down. So we definitely project that these are going to be some of their best albums, bigger albums for sure. You got Kanye West rolling out the Dondo with the listening parties and things like that. So with that being said, with their feud being what it is a theory that one of them is waiting for the other one to drop. And with that being said, who do you think is going to be more successful, or how do you feel about the albums as they stand right now, Tease?
So there's a lot of context around that. So as it concerns success, I want to speak to what their most recent albums have done as far as first week sales.
Yeah.
So 2016, Kanye dropped The Life of Pablo, which is a very great album to a lot of people.
Yeah.
It only sold 90K first week. Now, to be fair, to be fair, it released only on Tidal first week. So if you didn't have Tidal, you really couldn't hear it. So that hurt his first week sales. I would have never did that. And it was evident he felt some type of way. 2018, he had a collab album with Kid Cudi, Kids See Go, sold 142K. Yeah. 2018 also, we saw Ye sold 208K, which is a lot of people say one of his weakest albums. Yeah. In 2019, we saw Jesus is King. A lot of hype around this one. It came out for 264K. Now, his most successful first week ever was Graduation in 2007, which sold 957K. Now, I don't see Kanye selling that much. And if you see his albums, his last few albums, it's trending around the 200K. So with the listening events, it's possible he could sell more. But will he sell more than Drake? Who knows? Now, let's talk about Drake's most recent. Yeah. So starting in 2017, More Life, he sold 505K. Now, that was supposed to be a lot of like views leftovers. So, 505K is pretty good for that. Then 2018 was heavily promoted, but it also came amongst the beef with Pusha T. Sold 732K first week. Yeah. Then Care Package, a bunch of randoms. A bunch of random songs sold only 109K. Yeah. And then Dark Lane Demo Tapes released at the midst of the pandemic sold 223K. Now, notably, that 223K is less than 2019 Kanye's Jesus is King 264K. But I feel like when it's not a real album, Drake don't really promote it like that. When it's an album, you're gonna hear about it a whole month until it drops. So it's like
to a year, because we've been hearing about this certified.
So this one, and then Drake's most successful first week ever was Views in 2016, which sold 1 million first week. Yes. So from a success standpoint, Drake obviously has his foot on these niggas' necks. Kanye is not finna outsell him, bro.
Yeah, it's very unlikely now, especially now with Drake on next. Just like you said, TZ, like this man is on everything and he's killing it. I mean, he's really doing quality Drake verses. Like the Drake, the verse on still, what was it, Stan Green, or what the fuck is it called?
Seeing Green with Nicki Minaj and Lil Wayne.
The verse on Seeing Green,
that was hard.
I was like, what?
I don't feel like people caught this line enough, bro. He said, trying to run the country like Putin, but who's Russian? Like, bro,
that was like the weakest bar on that verse. You gotta stop. It's the weakest
y'all just don't get it, bro. Y'all just don't get it.
I've said something like that. I'm gonna go ahead and release that track when we're talking, when we're doing it. But yeah, that was pretty weak. But yes, this nigga has been coming for next, bro. So do I think that this new Drake album gonna be more successful? Fuck, what? Who doesn't? I had an argument in a group chat, actually, another group chat that I'm in. If Kanye is waiting on Drake to release his album, he's gonna be sorely, hurt by this, because Drake is obviously gonna get more first week sales and most likely more sales, period. Because he's like the streaming god. He's like streaming sis guy. And the guy was mad. He was like, no, he's not. I'm like, nigga, stop. Stop it, bro.
And to be fair, I don't think a lot of people are going into, at least I hope Kanye not, because his ego is going to be crushed. I don't think a lot of people should be going into anything around Drake thinking they're going to out-succeed him.
Yeah.
I just don't think that's going to happen. I think the best you can hope for is to drop a better album.
Right.
Now, as it concerns the background around this album, I think it's worth mentioning that Kanye has recruited a lot of people. So this Kanye album, from this listening session, these are who's been revealed to be on the album. And this is just a summary. Pusha T, Don Toliver, Lil Baby, The Weeknd, Baby Keem, Travis Scott, Lil Yachty, Playboi Carti, Lil Durk, Fivio Foreign, Kid Cudi, Young Thug, Chris Brown, Roddy Ricch, Conway the Machine, Westside Gunn, Jadakiss, Jay Electronica, Pop Smoke, R.I.P., Jay-Z, and then the Sunday Service Choir.
Bro, literally in-game motherfucking...
the Avengers in-game of hip-hop.
Yes, everybody coming through the rings, nigga. Like, what's up?
I am dead.
This is wild.
Avengers assemble his ass. I'm for real. It's crazy, though. But, you know, it's interesting. The album itself is called Thunder. So, for the people who don't know, that's Kanye West's mom. The album... originally was called God's Country, but he's dropped multiple singles that people have said may be on the album. But I think when he broke up with Kim Kardashian, a lot of people was like, okay, he's finna get back to some real music.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people feel like, oh, since it's the first album post Kim, that this gonna be some fire. And from what I've seen, people who listen to the listening event, like OT, for example, people have been really hyped if you listen to the listening event. Me personally, y'all, I don't have the time for something that's just sitting there. But I'll trust the people who have heard it who said it's going to be fire. Yeah. Now, Drake has not done the same. That's a very Kanye-esque thing to do, to do album listening events. But after numerous delays, the latest proposed date is supposed to be really soon. So we'll see what happens. Now, Drake, on the other hand, Certified Lover Boy has actually been talked about for a while.
Oh, wow.
He actually said that the album was supposed to originally come out in January 2021. Now, he said a couple things before that, talked about it releasing in 2020, a couple of leaks. But when he dropped Laugh Not Cry Later, which was the first song in music video, it was actually stated on his birthday that the album was supposed to come January 2021. Now, I don't know if y'all remember that trailer he did, that teaser trailer where he basically was like, he had the So Far Gone, he had to Take Care, he had the Nothing Was the Same. And that built a lot of hype for me. To me, that was the equivalent of Kanye cutting off with Kim K. Because that made me feel like if you can channel your best albums, and you know those are your best albums, and put them into a new project 8 years down the line, you must be really sitting on something.
Bro, I'm telling you, this gonna be better than Take Care, bro. Mark my words. Bro, Rasheem said it on Behind the Muse first, bro. This is gonna be better than Take Care. This is gonna be better than Take Care, man.
Hold that against this man for the rest of his life.
This is gonna be better than Take Care, man.
The pressure's on. So who do you say will have, out of these two people though, who will have the best album to you?
So we know who's gonna be more successful. It's obviously gonna be Drake, but who's gonna have the better album? It has been said. So look, if Kanye West is still doing the highly, Christian influenced music, and we know that it will feature like his choir, so we know it's gonna be elements like that. I don't know. It feels very Chance the Rapper-ish with like a whole bunch of features, and I can't see that being better than what I presume would be better than Take Care, honestly. I don't know.
So you know that track, a lot of people don't know this, but you know that track that's been getting a lot of play with Young Thug and Gunna called Solid by Drake?
Yeah.
So that song was actually supposed to originally be on Certified Lover Boy. And I think when you hear things like that and Laugh Not Cry Later, you can get an idea of where Drake is going.
Yeah.
And it's evident he ain't going for no Christian gospel music now.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not knocking Christian and gospel music. I'm not knocking.
But against a secular album.
Drake says Kanye is only making secular music, and Kanye obviously didn't like that. But I feel like it's a toss-up. Since I didn't listen to the listening event, because I want to listen to this shit for myself in my ears. I don't want to watch people do anything right now.
Yeah.
I think it's a toss-up. But I think what I respect about both of them, they're both artists. But I have to give Drake a bit more credit in the sense that Drake doesn't have a huge team like Kanye does. Drake is not assembling the Avengers to do his album. Like, he's not doing that, bro. And while that may be exciting, it just makes it like, whose album is it sometimes, I'm not knocking this, so Kanye fans don't come in my neck because I'll fight y'all. But it's more so it's more so when I talk about who will have the better album. You know, it's really Drake versus Kanye and Friends.
Yeah.
You know, I really don't know though. I still feel like Kanye can come out with a better album. I just have to see if he does Jesus is King Part 2. I don't think he'll have a better album.
Yeah,
You know?
and I think that's kind of like the wave that he's on right now, and it's not necessarily true. Like I also did not listen to the live party, mostly because he was late to like 2 of them that I tried to show up to.
I'm just saying I got stuff going on, bro.
Who are you, Lauryn Hill? Like, get the fuck out of here. But I do think that he might have some really good production. No one ever questions this man Kanye West.
He gonna have some good features because that Jay-Z verse that I did here is fire.
He gonna have some good features. He gonna have great production.
Drake has some good features though.
I think Drake like to work with these young cats, man. Like if Drake can go back to like, again, Take Care. You know what I'm saying? If he can go back to featuring Kendrick Lamar, which was nowhere to be found on the
Isaiah J. Cole collab at this point too.
Yeah, or a J. Cole collab. You know what I'm saying? Some of the cats he came up with.
Gonna turn heads. Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, if he came up with something like that, then I respect it. But I think he's got too much.
He got such an ego when it comes to like rapping with his real peers, though.
Yeah,
that's why he rap with these youngins so much. Like, I feel like that holds him back too. Like, you can't be so niggas gonna say he out rap me. I don't want to. Man, give people what they want, bro.
Yeah, like the energy, like give me.
And it's gonna bring the best out of you anyway. It's gonna bring the best out of you, Drake. Just do it. Give me a Lil Wayne feature. Give me a Nicki Minaj feature, bro. Because you know they be killing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Come on, Rick Ross feature, y'all never missed.
Yes,
never missed.
Yes.
And the thing about Drake when it comes to Certified Lover Boy, because each person has stated the album is finished. Now, obviously, Kanye's gotten a lot of attention for him making this stadium into a studio so he can make some changes to the album. Yeah. Even Kid Cudi tweeted at the time in July that he was not on the album. And then they did the listening event, and he was like, Kid Cudi, you're on 2 songs. And even Kid Cudi was like, well, I wasn't. And then he hit me up, and then a week later, I was on the album. So Kanye's album is ever-changing. That's his process. And Drake has said that his process is, the way I created it when I intended is how I wanted it to sound. So Drake has said in the July, like, yo, my album is done. I'm ready for y'all to hear. So the question you said, like, they just waited on each other is very evident. But also, I feel like we also have to address this. I think part of the reason why a lot of big name albums have been delayed is because of the pandemic. I think artists wanted things to drop in the summer where people could go out and really celebrate it.
Right.
But with the Delta variant coming back up, I don't know if that's going to delay albums indefinitely. So now it's like that could be part of it too. So I don't know. But
yeah, this man Drake could get like deported again. You know what I'm saying? Like that happened to a bunch of artists who aren't from America. Like they had to go back to their country. So
and Canada has really strict COVID restrictions right now.
That's wild.
Like I saw somebody they got arrested because they tried to get to Canada with forged vaccination cards.
Oh shit!
I ain't gonna get into the vax and no vax conversation, but like. Don't go into Canada faking that shit. That's all I'm saying.
Just don't have misinformation, bro. Like it's a lot of misinformation out here, and people just be like talking their head off because of misinformation. So I do hate that. Educate yourself. Read a book. Read a book, motherfucker. Read a book. You know what I'm saying? Like do something, or like an unbiased article or something, because you know.
Right. But it's hard. People, the biggest thing is, and that's all I'm gonna say on that as we get ready to close, is confirmation bias. People seek out the information that confirms what they already think. Yeah, so if I'm anti-vax, I'm gonna find that dude on TikTok that's going in on people getting the vaccine. If I'm pro-vaccine, everybody I follow is most likely gonna be conforming what I think. Otherwise, I don't want to follow them. Now, that's just where we at. Hopefully, the next time y'all hear us reconvene, we all have some good news to share about this pandemic.
I doubt it. I doubt it, man. And I also want to mention that I have confirmation bias that Kanye is gonna, be better than Drake in any way, shape, or form. Because it's nothing there. There's no evidence to suggest that this man gonna have a better album. That's my opinion on it.
So you said Kanye gonna have a better album? Did I hear that right?
Sorry. Did I say no? Drake will outdo Kanye. Sorry. Okay. Jesus Christ.
Drake will have a better album.
Jesus Christ. Did I say anything different? Like, what the fuck?
It was hard to read through the lines. You had to
read read through the lines, bro, because Kanye could never.
I feel like I want to say Drake. I do.
Yeah, you gonna have to. Just
I feel like with the singles I've heard, they've been good. but I need to hear some game changing stuff. And I think Drake has not released enough for me to say that yet.
Okay.
So I'm on the fence, but I will update y'all what I think when the albums do drop, because we gonna review that.
We gotta do that.
Now, the last question I got for you, Raj Singh, though, is: do you think their albums are gonna be better than what we've heard this year, though? Like, whether their albums are better than each other is one thing, but will they drop the best albums of 2021? Like,
man.
We have Isaiah Rashad, we have Nas, we have Tyler the Creator, all great albums that drop.
J. Cole, don't forget to go. I do feel like they are going to be competitive. They're definitely going to be competitive. Right now, I think the front runner is obviously Tyler the Creator. I think Tyler the Creator dropped the best album he's ever dropped. Honestly, it is so perfect to me. So I can't really see anybody come in. I don't know. I can't really see anybody topping that. But as far as being competitive to like Nas, J. Cole, Isaiah Rashad, I think it'll definitely be competitive.
That's fair.
And you can't get past Kanye West's production. That's gonna be flames. So
yeah, he gonna have much better production, definitely. But that's fair though, because and when you talk about which album will be better, the production plays a major part. Like,
for sure.
So
100%.
I think it's just a waiting game, man. This state is gonna be 24 tracks on there, so it's gonna be a big ass album.
Yeah.
But the thing about Kanye and Drake that they have that the other albums may not have, people are gonna listen to the music multiple times. Right. Everybody don't get multiple listens.
You gotta do it.
I'm excited to see what's gonna happen, man. I can't wait. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, man, for sure. But yeah, hey, that has been another episode Behind the Muse covering the Drake versus Kanye West beef. Hopefully we enlightened you guys on a few things that you might not have known. And then we just confirmed some things that you might have thought, like, Drake definitely fucked Kim. So with that being said, that's really all I got. Teach you guys anything, man?
No, man, y'all stay safe out here, man.
Stay safe. Hell yeah. Stay safe. Put on a mask. Stop being a bitch. You think what I'm saying? All right. Catch y'all later. Peace.
Yo, what's good? Just want to touch base with you guys again, because literally days after we recorded that episode, this man Drake dissed Ye again. Another one. Like, came at his head top. On the song Betrayal by Trippie Redd, which is on his new album Trip at Night, there is a Drake feature where he clearly mentions Ye. He has a line in there where he says, 45, 44, burnt out, let it go. Ye ain't changing shit for me, it's set in stone. So we talked about in the episode how this man Drake is the king of subs. He's usually subbing Ye and all that stuff, but this was just like, right at your head top. I'm letting you know exactly what I'm talking about. You burnt out, you too old, let it go. This man Ye did have a response to this, and this is probably the most pettiest thing Ye has done. Ye posted, then deleted Drake's address and location where he stands, which me and TZ both agree that's pretty egregious. Like, it's messed up. It's past petty, it's just messed up, bro. Like, people lose their lives from people trying to like rob them, that happened to Pop Smoke in the home invasion. So I think that's a serious thing, shouldn't be done. But it's just super interesting that even now they still, like, the beef is still ever present between them. Like, and that bromance is dead now. They just at each other head tops. So it's super crazy, and we're not really sure how that's gonna translate. When you look at them both dropping albums, you can almost be certain that there will be more subs, maybe even more like blatant disrespect on each other's album towards the other. And it's gonna be dope to watch. It's gonna be crazy to watch, man. I'm super excited. As a hip hop fan, it's gonna be dope. But man, what a time, bro. Like, sheesh. But yeah, man, let us know how you guys feel about that diss, or how you feel about Ye's response. And yeah, just keep it locked with your two favorite hip hop and R&B analysts, me being one of them. Peace.